Okay.
If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. If I find my way home, yeah.
We back on the PBC. It's your boy PBK9s giving it to you the way I always do. Got some dog news for y'all brothers and sisters today. Some dog talk. We gonna get into it the way we always get into it. Big shout out and big salute to all the pet lovers across the world. Everybody taking care of them animals, like I always say, the way they supposed to. You know, we gonna get into a pit bull, so-called pit bull or a pit bull dog attack first, and then we gonna get into maybe a dog fighting bust. You know, I'm just gonna give it to you the way the article says and put it out. And you wouldn't believe that when we was posting about the $50 keep, my brothers know about the $50 keep, the $50 workout program, $50 the whole month, including dog food. You know, and you talking about the dog is in shape at the end of the month. Somebody actually used this program, the $50 keep. Somebody used it, and they on the news. I told you, if you don't make the news, you don't want to make the news, don't make the news. They on the news. So I'm going to give y'all that as well, and we're going to touch on a few topics like we always do. So let's get into this first pit bull attack, or so-called pit bull attack, or pit bull breed attack on a young lady. You know where you got it from first. Your boy PBK9s. Let's go.
Are recovering after being attacked by 3 dogs yesterday while walking to a school bus stop on Diamond Hills Cove.
Channel 7's Andrew Mobley spoke with the family and joins us in studio tonight with more. Andrew.
It was just another normal school day morning until Samantha Engler heard her daughter Bentley's screams and rushed outside their house only to find her daughter's backpack and phone on the ground. We do want to warn you, some viewers might find images in this story disturbing.
It was probably the scariest thing I've ever felt in my life, not knowing where my daughter was or how bad she was hurt, knowing that I was getting hurt as bad as I was.
Bentley was only 100 yards or so down the road to her school bus stop when she turned around and saw 3 pit bulls chasing her.
One of them just bites me. They kept knocking me down, and then they just kept biting me. And then I got to my neighbor's door and started banging on it, and they eventually let me in.
Samantha ran outside barefoot to her daughter's aid, and not finding her was also attacked by the dogs, which brought her down and dragged her on the ground. The same neighbor whose home Bentley took shelter in came out with a gun and shot at the dogs, scaring them away. Samantha credits him with saving her life. She and her daughter suffered extensive injuries, Samantha bearing the brunt of them. They are both now recovering at home. The owners of the dogs, neighbors Casey Jones and Alyssa Barnhart, were arrested by Saline County deputies. According to the police report, Barnhart believed Jones, her boyfriend, had left them out overnight. She admitted to deputies that the dogs were vicious and said they had previously bitten another little girl who was riding her bicycle. Police seized the 3 dogs believed to have attacked the mother and daughter, but there still appear to be pit bulls on the property.
If you know kids walk to their bus stop in the morning and you know you have a vicious dog, I think you should keep them inside.
This is the 3rd such reported attack in Saline County since June, when 15-year-old Bryant High School student Michaela Fortner was killed by neglected dogs on a neighbor's property that she and her mother had been caring for. Fortner's tragic death sparked outrage and calls for the county to address its lack of an animal control department. Saline County Judge Matt Brumley told KATV in June that the county was looking at expanding its partnership with Benton Animal Control, which has built a new facility that is expected to open in the next few months. On your side, I'm Andrew Mobley.
Okay, Andrew, thanks so much. Jones and Barnhart have both been charged with 1 count of unlawful dog attack and first-degree assault. Jones, who had outstanding warrants, faces additional charges of theft and unlawful transfer of stolen property to a pawn shop.
Now, it's been going down in East Texas this month. Over the past couple months, that's where the Newton County situation happened at. And then I just gave y'all a news article about 2 days ago from Bexar County, where the brother was in the situation. Now we got to go to East Texas again, where we got 2 dead dogs found on the property. So we're going to get into that. You know where you got it from first. It's your boy PBK9s giving you that dog news, fair and unbiased from around the world, the way I always do. Let's get into it.
Is in jail tonight after authorities found the bodies of 2 dogs on his property that investigators say had starved to death. And a warning here, the details and images in this story may be hard for some people to see. Kenneth Adams was arrested Monday. He's charged with cruelty to non-livestock animals. The animals were found and seized from his property in Grand Saline. The Van Zandt County Sheriff's Office initially discovered 2 dogs in early December tied to trees and dead on the frozen ground. Examinations revealed they were starved and dehydrated due to neglect. 5 other dogs were also found inside a house on that same property by the SPCA, who was called in to help by the sheriff's office. Now, these pictures show the unsanitary conditions inside the house and the signs of neglect they say 4 of the 5 dogs showed. The SPCA was able to take the 2 dead dogs and the 2 other dogs in the poorest conditions and were granted their custody by a judge. Adams is now being held on a $25,000 bond.
Now, we're going to get into this article right here because I want to speak about this real quick. We're going to get into this article where I'm not going to say it's a dog fighting bust because the officer said out his own mouth they're investigating the situation. You know what I'm saying? But what you're going to see is what we call the $50 keep, which means the brother took $50, put his dog in a workout plan that includes the dog food and all the other stuff that he's getting. You know what I'm saying? Whatever other ingredients or nutrients or proteins, everything he's getting. $50 program, And I want to say this includes the 6 weeks. This is the 6th week, But needless to say, we're going to get into that, and I'm going to speak about it when it's done. PBK9s, let's go.
Local crime tonight in the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office is currently conducting an animal cruelty and possible dogfighting investigation. Our Brianna Cook spoke with the Sheriff's Office to find out more.
This house that you see behind me is the house where Baldwin County Sheriff's Office discovered over 20 malnourished and very neglected dogs. And investigators tell us that this is one of the largest animal cruelty cases that they've seen. Now, we want to warn you that some of these images may be disturbing to some viewers. Last Wednesday, deputies initially responded to the 100 block of 2nd Street to serve an unrelated warrant. Major Brad King says while deputies were at the property, they discovered numerous pit bulls housed in poor conditions. Several dogs had visible injuries potentially related to dog fighting.
Numerous dogs that were basically shut up inside the building with no air. Upon a little further inspection, they realized that they were in poor health and did not have any water.
Deputies obtained a search warrant and seized 25 dogs in total from kennels, enclosures, and plastic carriers around the property. The dogs showed signs of neglect and abuse.
16 dogs, I believe, were found in the backyard in various size pens, along with the dogs in the outbuilding. We obtained a search warrant inside the residence. We located another 9 dogs that were in plastic kind of tote carriers.
Deputies arrested the homeowner, 42-year-old Travis Mayrick, for obstructing law enforcement officers and animal cruelty. King says this is an active investigation, so they still do not know how involved Mayrick is in the suspected dog fighting.
We do further investigate to see if we are in fact dealing with either a breeder or someone who is actually involved in dog fighting. The two are connected, so the circumstances of it does not necessarily mean to participate in dog fighting that you're actually the one that's fighting the dogs. You could be the breeder or the supplier of the dogs that they fight. So we're going to investigate that thoroughly before we make a decision about the dog fighting.
Animal Control transported the dogs for veterinary evaluation. They will be cared for individually pending the investigation. Reporting in Baldwin County, Brianna Cook, WGXA News.
Now, that don't make no sense how small that dog was, If you can't take care of 20, 30 dogs, Why get that many? And if you got them thinking and it was going, accordingly for a while and things got hard, then that means it's time to sell some of them. Get rid of some of them. You're going to have to pull back. It's no use. Listen, if you got 20 dogs and they look like the pictures that we saw just now, you don't got 20 dogs. You got 20 skeletons. That's why I told y'all, brothers, if I was in them doing that type of stuff to where we was matching dogs and all that, you got brothers who keep their dogs in this kind of situation looking like this, and then they bring them out talking about putting them in the box. And then the dog don't perform like he's supposed to perform. Then they go to calling the people they got the dog from. Oh, you sold me this and that, and this and that, and this and that. First of all, I didn't say your dog to do that with it. Second of all, a dog that's not healthy is not going to do anything. You can't expect that dog to fetch a ball, to fetch a tennis ball without having some type of health risk. Like, it don't make no sense, man. Like I said, you don't want to make the news, don't make the news. You know what I'm saying? And when you got 20 and 30 dogs, 40 dogs, and they look like this, me myself personally, fuck the looking at it from a non-dog person standpoint. From a dog person standpoint, if you got to have 20 dogs and they're going to be skinny like that, I don't see the purpose, man. You know what I'm saying? Not saying you got to have your dogs flabbery and fat and all kind of, you know what I'm saying, just with health, diabetes and all kind of stuff. I'm not saying none of that, but what I'm saying is that dog, it's a difference between a show-looking pit bulls that I was speaking about going to the shows. See, let me show you real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you real quick what a pit bull look like that goes to the shows and what a starved out dog look like. It's a big difference, man. And like I always say, this brother is just one of many brothers that have their dogs in this type of situation. And I know as well as anybody else, you can have a litter of puppies and they'll start accumulating, and them dogs will accumulate fast. But the thing is, you got to always think about how many you got to feed and what you got going on. This, I keep telling brothers, no matter how much you on social media, no matter if you on social media, you better pay attention to what's going on out here. You don't have to be on social media, but you better pay attention to what's going on out here in this news. Pay attention to your laws. We always worrying about Tom Garner. Like I said, I'm going to speak about that as well in a few minutes. You better start learning your laws, for one, dealing with your city council and all that type of stuff when it comes to these laws being passed. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what the laws be. Laws be different in the city limits and outside of the city limits, and laws be different from city to city and from state to state. Everybody got different laws. So you got to learn all that stuff. A lot of people, you trying to knock this person or knock that person or say this person doing this or say this person doing that. But at the end of the day, you just coming into the game dumbfounded, moving like a jackass, and then trying to compare your situation to the next person's situation who ain't moving like you. You know what I'm saying? And who thinking and making decisions for their family to know they can't do what they used to do back in the days. It just is what it is, man, because folk don't understand. Folks say, what's my motive for doing Tom Garner videos? I speak, like I said before, I speak about the dogs that I got from him. When I went and got dogs from him, he never talked about no dog fighting. He wouldn't let you talk about no damn dog fighting, coming to buy no dogs from him. I will say that. You know what I'm saying? Never had them kind of conversations with him, dealt with him on that matter. You know what I'm saying? Always sold the dog on a legitimate end. I'm talking about no discussion about no bullshit like that. And I'm talking about back in the days. I'm not talking about no in this modern day shit. Back in the days. And I speak about the dogs that I got from him. you know. And I always say they were great dogs. You know what I'm saying? But even great dogs have dogs that be greater or dogs that's better. And I always say I got a lot of these dogs from many of these dog brothers when I was a teenager and in my early 20s. So I'm thinking like a teenager, moving like a teenager, and conducting my dog business like a teenager, ruining some of these dogs. Some of y'all brothers is in y'all 50s, moving like a teenager, ruining dogs, and complaining and wondering why you can't get success. I see brothers out here right now that got one dog that's representing more than brothers who got 30 and 40 dogs. You know, doing their thing, putting their work down, putting their foot down with their dog. Same way I told brothers, back in the Wild Wild West days, you'll bump into a brother who don't got nothing but 2 or 3 dogs, and they can't stop his dogs. And he running up in the people who got 100 dogs, 50 dogs, and they can't beat this man over here who got 2 damn dogs. Because he got the time to spend to bring 150% out of his pit bull. You got some nice dogs, and they bred pretty good, but you can't get nothing but 75% out of them, even though you think it's 100%. This man over here getting 150% out of 2 dogs he got, and you can't stop him. It'll go down just like that, man. A lot of the times, it's not the bloodlines you got, and I'm going to say some of the times, it's not the bloodline you got, it's the bloodline that ends up with the right person. It's a whole lot of luck in the dog game sometimes, you know, because like I said, I can have the best 2 dogs in the world, and I can breed them, and I can sell them to 100 people. A group of 100 bad pet owners, you know. I can sell them to 100 bad pet owners when I mean people that's not working these dogs, not doing the right things with these dogs, putting these dogs in the light where they can succeed. You know, I can put these dogs in 100 people's hands. They think they dog men, you know what I'm saying? Think they know this, know that, starving the dogs out, dogs not even making the weight they supposed to be. You know, and we don't get none of the results. And I can take them same dogs and I can put them in 10 people's hands that's real legitimate pet owners that gonna do what they supposed to do with the dog the right way. And watch how much different the reputation of that line be. You know what I'm saying? Oh, them dogs good worker. I keep telling you. You know, it's no need to put high quality working dogs in somebody's hands who's not gonna put that dog in a position to succeed. You know? And like I always say, everybody succeed gonna be different. It just depends on what your lifestyle is. What's my motive to give the news? I give the news and let you see what's going on out here with these dogs. You know, I mean, why should you have to be subject to only time you hear what's going on with the dogs when you see it on a Facebook group posting up, oh, so-and-so dog fighting arrest, and now you got 1,000 tree huggers commenting up under your comments, up under the comments talking about hang them and shoot them and all that, where you can get the real deal what's going on out here. You can see it for yourself and be the judge. You know what I'm saying? Everything that come on the news is not bad. They put the news out you so you can see it and make your moves accordingly. I don't care what it is. You know, when they showing the news with the wars and stuff from country to country, they showing you this stuff regardless so you can make your moves accordingly. You know, if it's an attack on U.S. soil, they showing you this news so you can make your moves accordingly. You know, your next step can be made. Now, if you want to take it for some other reason or that's you. And like I said, in this social media thing, this YouTube thing, you have so many different personalities. Some brothers, they great with pets, but they're not great with understanding. Some brothers is great doing this and they're not great with this, you know. And you have all them personalities when it comes to this dog stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some people just want to be gangsters when we talking about 4-legged creatures and how to take care of these animals. They want to be a gangster. You know, you have different kind of mentalities and personalities out here. And everybody bunched up into one group of folk. Speaking. Don't raise your hand, just speak, and be sounding dumb as fuck. You know? Big salute to all them brothers, man. And big salute to all the brothers with the interviews I got coming up. You know what I'm saying? Got some great interviews for my brothers and sisters out there. Big salute and big shout out to everybody that gave me interviews over the past few years. You know what I'm saying? Some great interviews. And I'm going to tell you like this, you know, if I was just doing interviews, then it'd be easy, you know, easier for you to find. I do a lot of stuff, or, you know, sometimes I may skip a day or two, and then sometimes I do 2 and 3 in one day. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it may be a little hard to find certain things. Even when I start my new channel up, it still may be up a little bit hard, you know, if I'm not doing interviews every single day. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about an interview, man, like I always say, I'm willing to interview any pet lover, any dog lover or dog owner or dog trainer. It don't have to be pit bulls. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be pit bulls, because one thing about it, a dog lover gonna respect the game regardless. When a brother spitting game or a sister spitting game on how to take care of these animals. You know what I'm saying? It can be anything. A brother could be talking about training, but it's something he's speaking about that's gonna help you with what you got going on with your pet. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not into the training, it's something he's gonna say that's gonna benefit you. You know what I'm saying? And what you got going on. You know, every time I watch something from these dog trainer videos, when they teaching about this or teaching about that, you know what I'm saying? Even if, you know, sometimes my channel may be bigger than theirs, but they said something that made sense and said something that I can add to what I got going on to make mine just a tad bit better. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're never going to be perfect. And if you're never perfect, that means you can always add something to it. You know, and things are changing on a daily. You know, forget yearly, things are changing daily, weekly. You know what I'm saying? You have to evolve with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So when you say, what's my motive? My motive is to put the news out here and let you take it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't think Garner should know what folk is saying about him in the UK? You know? You don't think he should know that? Or you want to be the one to deliver the news to him? You know? What's the problem? You know, I would want to know when my name being called in the UK about something that's going on illegal. You know what I'm saying? I would want to know. And I mean, hey, man, even if he already knew, that means he already knew it was going to come out. You know, and I'm quite sure, you know, being in the situation that he's in as far as prospering off his dogs, he already know what time it is, and he already been in them type of situations, and it ain't nothing new to him. You know? All the hate, it ain't nothing new to him. The folk trying to say this and say that ain't nothing new to him. And I know this shit because when I don't got nowhere near many of his dogs as he do. But when you're doing anything with these dogs, hate come from all directions. The ones that think they can hurt you, the ones that think they got anything on you, the ones that don't even know you. Hate come from all different directions. So I can imagine the hate, whatever he been through, it ain't my fucking business. In his days, you know, I'm way younger than them brothers. Whatever he been through, that ain't my business. But like I say, I'm the news anchor. I give the news and I do talk about certain things. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And like I said last night, a lot of people mad at Garner for reasons that they're not speaking on and putting it on other reasons. And I'm not mad at Garner, you know, at all. I always say I think he got pretty good dogs. And back in the days, they had a reputation for being 45-minute dogs, you know. And then I would say this, being that I wasn't a Eli connoisseur back in the days. When I say that, I mean I wasn't an Eli specialist. We and a lot of people may get it confused with the Eli dogs, which could come from Mr. Boudreaux, or was they talking about the Tom Garner dogs? You know, the word was the Garner dogs was the 45-minute dogs. You know, or all Eli dogs 45-minute dogs. I don't know. You know, but I mean, good dogs. I think you can take some of his dogs and have good dogs. It depends on who hands his dogs land in. If they land in them type of dog men hands that can do what they supposed to do with that dog and put that dog in the place to succeed, then it will. Now they got a little group that call themselves ISIS that also uses WhatsApp, Telegram, and many of these apps that these dog brothers be feeling like they safe in. You know, and then they get mad when we talk about this stuff. Talk about WhatsApp, they get mad. Talk about this, they get mad. They load up in the. Think he over there just talking. I ain't gonna make the mistake he made. I ain't gonna do this he made. You know, listen here. Say what you want to say. I'm the first dog channel that bought. I am the first dog channel that brought dope and dogs don't mix to the YouTube. Letting these brothers know. You selling that shit and you got them dogs. You was automatic dog fighter when you get caught with your dope. I brought that to the YouTube, man, to let these brothers know you got to make a decision. You know, you want to have 30 dogs, you can make your money the right way if you know how to handle your business. You don't need this dope. But you got to handle your business the right way with them dogs. But when you get caught up with, I don't care if you got a 50 flip of dope, a half a gram, a 0.2, if they catch it, if they come to your house for dope, and you ain't got no dope when they come there, but you got them damn dogs, you're getting dog fighting charge. I brought that there. Let these brothers know, man. These folk weren't talking about that. They were talking about nothing but pedigrees. You're not letting these brothers know what's going on. Facebook not letting you know that it's this dope and these dogs don't mix. None of that type of stuff. And that shit is real, man. That shit is real. When you get caught with any kind of anything illegal and you got 30-some dogs, 20-some dogs, 5 dogs, they give you dog fighting. You don't think that's something brothers need to know, sisters need to know across this country? You don't think they keep that in mind when they go to do something illegal? Oh, I want to keep my dogs, man. I love my dogs. I gotta watch out on this end. You know, I gotta. Some folk decide they either gonna do one or the other. You don't think these brothers and sisters out here need to know when it's 200 dogs confiscated over here? You know, you don't think the dog community need to know when the biggest dog bust from a single person goes down in America? You don't think folk need to know that? You don't think folk need to know when the biggest dog bust in South Carolina goes down? You don't think folk need to know that? North Carolina goes down. It ain't about, it is, I keep telling brothers, it's not about helping nobody dodge nothing. It's about letting these young brothers see it ain't what you think it is. You know, understand what you getting into before you climb that fence to get on the other side. Older brothers, the same thing. Bro, you know what I'm saying? Is this shit worth you going away, losing your family? These young brothers, they don't think about family and all that. Some of them don't even got kids, and they don't care about the rest of their family. But these brothers who are in their 40s, late 30s, 50s and 60s and stuff like that, some of them in their 70s, you better think about it. You know, a dime now ain't what a dime used to be when you was 20. So that's what the news for, man. It's just, like I say, take it for what you take it for. Feel how you feel about it. There's too many different personalities for me to try to say, oh, everybody gonna think the same. Everybody gonna feel the same and understand what's what with the news. It's too many different thinkers for that. Some people would never think logical. They just always want to be jerks and assholes. You know? One thing you gotta realize is you'll be all right in this dog game. You know, some of these folk out here, they mastered the art of the wolf in sheep clothing. You know, smile at you, make you think, they all innocent and this and that, but really they chopping and coming for your head. You know, trying to get that dollar out your pocket. Gonna get it any way they can get it. Ain't gonna say whatever they gotta say to make you feel comfortable. When you understand that, and understand, man, you are no different than the next dog brother. He got more dogs than you, so be it. Both of y'all humans with dogs that go by the same exact laws. Big shout out to the brother Paul Johnson out there. Hey, Paul, man, they say, what's my motive? I say, hey, what's Buck City motive? When they ban you from the dogs, when they tell you don't get on social media, but you get up there talking about everybody else except for yourself. You know them folk looking at your channel, so you know every time you post something with another person on it, you automatically giving them to the law. You know, what's your motive? I asked them, what's their motive? You know, what's your motive? Hey, I mean, if them folks say, I got a total ban from dogs, then I mean, I can't have any, but I can still do my channel, right? You know, but I mean, at some point, if I know I can never have dogs, see, it's a difference between not having no dogs and getting up here talking to y'all, knowing I can go buy a dog anytime and show my dog at any time. I don't got none by choice. It's a difference between that and you can't have none. You can't get on no camera like me right now and show yourself with no dog. It's a big difference to that, And there's a whole lot more other things to talk about. So I say, what's the motives? What's the motive when you hiding that you taking an animal cruelty class? When them folk done told it, what's the motive? What's the motive when you going harder than you was before all them tree huggers was on your social media? You going harder now than you were then, like you got nothing to lose. What's the motive? Now, like I said before, when it comes to his homeboy, word in North Memphis is, you better watch your ass out here in this game y'all playing, this called dog game. Come on in here, Big Scratch. Bulldoggers, y'all gonna help me. We gonna summon Big Scratch tonight. Bulldoggers. Bring the infamous Big Scratch in the building. Bulldoggers. Big Scratch, you need to get on it. That duo, Buck City and Mall Camp. I'm telling you right now, the word in North Memphis is there's a whole lot of shit that went on that's still going on with Mall Camp. And Big Scratch, this is what I want you to do for me, brother. Go back to one of my old videos when JD Hall was a puppy. The brothers, remember, they was hating on JD Hall too. Go back to the old video when JD Hall was a puppy. When I say, Mark Kent, you better holler at me because I can show you what to do with these dogs. Put them in a positive light. I didn't say put them in a positive light. I said I can show you what to do with these dogs. I'm going to have them out here in shows. I'm going to have them out here doing this, styling and profiling. Make a name for them in the right way. Never talk no illegal shit when it came to that brother. I only got the news. And from what the news said, he had Texas talking dog fight talk back and forth. The news even said he texts a dude in the federal prison about a dog fight. I didn't say that. No, I didn't. Distractions is all they try to do. Talk about this and talk about that and talk about this and talk about that. But you tell me somebody with common sense will write somebody in the jail about anything illegal? The news people straight up said a letter was sent to a federal inmate talking about and discussing dog fighting. But no, you make some boring ass video talking about shit that don't even matter. You know, stuff that don't matter, dog. I mean, it matters to some people. You know what I'm saying? It matters to some. Let me ask them brothers that's in the swamp something. Is it anything below the swamps? Or is the swamps the bottom of the barrel? Do y'all got anything below y'all? The swamps? Hey, big salute to them brothers that's in the swamps trying to get out the swamps. You know what I'm saying? Understand, man, the swamps is a way of thinking. Your mentality, man. What you trying to do out here with these dogs? Let me ask you something. You take 100 people with you to a dog show. You took 100 people with you to a dog show, and then you're going to brag about how you got damn $50,000 on the show. Man, come on, man. When you got damn 100 people there, everybody can put $25 a piece and make it damn $50,000. Put down $500 a piece. Big salute to the brother Mad Doctor rocking with me in the chat last night, man. Big salute to Ken Lightning. All my brothers that be rocking with me down in that chat. You know what I'm saying? Bruce Banner, what's going on with your big dog? You know, they be hating on Bruce Banner, man, because Bruce Banner got one damn good looking dog, and Bruce Banner dog is out there. You know, out there. And I ain't talking about the swamps. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Let the dogs do the talking. When you let the dogs do the talking, you get a whole lot of hate out here. You know, it don't matter who you is. Like I told brothers yesterday, man. It don't matter who you is. When you try to do your thing with your dogs, you're going to see where the hate come from. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so-and-so say, oh, man, it sells like this. That's why I say when Garner been selling his dogs on a high level for so long, man, don't you understand that man been seeing hate? It ain't take us getting up on YouTube talking about this and talking about that. That man know how to handle it and conduct this shit. That's why he's still doing what he's doing. And that's why a lot of them old schoolers is jealous and mad as hell. You see, I was too young. I was just a boy, a child, a young man coming up in the game, just blessed to say, oh, I had Garner dogs when I was a teenager, you know, and in that area where I can get Garner dogs. See, unlike the brother Fat Bill, I didn't get on TV and say people who fight dogs need to be in jail. I'm giving these brothers this news and this dog talk and say that's where you going to be at if you fight dogs. You know, it's either this decision or that decision. This is what I'm telling brothers. I'm not saying, oh, you need to lock him up or you need to lock him up. But like I said, y'all big up folk that do these type of videos and do this type of stuff and ignore this type of thing. You ignore these things and then, oh, like I said, you pick and choose. You pick and choose what you want to see and when you want to see it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, any and everybody, it don't make no difference who you is. You know what I'm saying? Any and everybody, when you're doing anything with your dog, you're going to receive hate. You know what I'm saying? That's why they hate them pocket pit brothers so much. That's why they hate the pocket breeders and a lot of them bully breeders. You hate them. You tell them why you really hate them motherfucking boys. You know what I'm saying? Pit bull brothers. Tell us why you really hate them. I keep telling you, y'all always pick other reasons to say this. Oh, they breeding this and they claiming this. No, you hating them boys because they making money with their shit. That's why you hate them. Tell them why you hate them for real. Same reason you hate Garner. The man making money with his shit. Legally, legitimately. These brothers making money with their dogs. Going to show their dogs. Doing their dogs in the competitions. Dog, you got pocket pit competitions in every damn state across the country damn near. All year long. Tell them why you're really mad at these brothers Stop holding all that shit in and blaming this and blaming that and blaming this and blaming that and talking about this and distracting from this. What's really going on out here? These brothers came out here with these little small ass dogs. I agree. They ain't my style of dog. But they came out here with them little small ass dogs and took the game by storm. You know, a lot of the money that's supposed to be coming to some of these pit brothers is going to these bully brothers. These brothers want the little short dogs with no legs. They don't got to worry about them. They can carry them, two of them around in their arms at one time and not even be struggling. And then they get down there posing with them, touching them all over, doing it. You know how they do it. The boy got a little routine they do when they get out there doing it in his show. Touching them from head to toe. But they do it and they getting their money and they having fun. That's why you're mad at them boys. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, dog. I only, like I always say, call it the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? Call it the way I see it. A bunch of false flagging, distracting, talking about shit that don't matter, folk along in this community. That's why I got to salute to them brothers that stay steadfast, stay doing what you got to do in the right ways. You know what I'm saying? Keep making your videos. You the same way I'm keep making mine. I ain't stopping. I ain't satisfied. I got goals to reach. You know what I'm saying? Real goals. And it ain't them goals where I get 30 and 40 and 50,000 subscribers and 100,000 subscribers, and I got to turn around and pick on the people with 1,000 subscribers, 2,000, 10,000. You know, as the bay rise and I get more subscribers, more people coming to rock with me. You know what I'm saying? Because even the tree huggers, like I said before, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of them, they talk shit about me, but they come over here, they say, I like that boy. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, dog. As my subscribers get higher, you know, everything else will get higher with it as well. You know what I'm saying? I can't do no 100,000 subscribers and can't get 20 people in the live. You know, they sent us to school to comprehend and to be able to count. And I know that shit don't go together. You know what I'm saying? Period. Salute to the brothers doing the right and the legitimate things with these dogs out here, man. And one thing I know, all you got to do is post your dog. To my brothers out there that's posting their dogs and getting all them brothers hating. Just post your dog. Post nice pictures of your dog. You know what I'm saying? They go to hating. One thing about it, they going to hate, but they still going to play. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. If they hating on you, that means they looking at you. They paying attention. You know? And they can say what they want to say. That means you taking time out of your day to say, the voice your opinion about something, even if I don't like it. Oh, so and so and so and this and that. You taking time out your day. You know? That shows that I am living in at least 1% of your brain. So, I mean, it is what it is. Salute to all them brothers, man. Like I said, keep getting your haters. Keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And we'll pile them all up and send them to alternative school at the end of the day. They fit in good over there. They all have a lot to talk about. Not a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Not a damn thing. When all y'all in the group and it's about 20 of y'all and none of y'all ain't got shit to talk about, you fit in good with each other. You know, hey, you don't mind if he don't mind that he over there telling a bold-faced lie. He know he telling a bold-faced lie. He don't give a damn because he about to tell you one his damn self. You know what I'm saying? Then you got one over there about to tell you a lie. He just waiting on his damn turn. You know, so that little crew fit in good with each other. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna keep doing what we doing, learning how we learn it. You know, I'm gonna learn how I learn this game. You know what I'm saying? Learn about these dogs, learn how to take care of these dogs in better ways. You know, things change, like I always say, on a daily. Medicine come, different medicines and different things to use to cure different diseases. Different methods come every day. So we all gonna learn stuff all the time. You can't never close that damn glass up, say you don't want no more knowledge. Because once you get to that point, you just, you know, if you just out of the game, unless you just don't got no pets or something. You know what I'm saying? If you still got pets, you still got to stay aware of what's going on around you. Different strains of that parvo come out over periods of time. You know, you have different strains that's stronger than other ones. You have to stay on point with all this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't listen to all this bullshit so long that ain't talking about shit, none of their old experiences. How you bring a dog back from parvo, how you handle coccidius in your dog litters and all that type of stuff. These folk ain't talking about none of that type of stuff, but you got real dog man on these channels out here. You know, you got several dog men on these channels that's talking about how to handle this stuff. You know what I'm saying? What to do when this situation kicks off. You know, and like I said, man, with so much distraction in the air, these brothers make it hard to even make it hard for any brother out there to really focus on what's real and what ain't. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of brothers who got folk who they friends, who they want to kind of be friends with, but they understand that they talking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They just don't want to hurt their feelings, and so they, like I said, they stay out of certain things. You know, but you dealing with brothers who, if you don't think the way they want you to think, they don't want you to holler at them. They don't want you to talk to them. They don't want you to come around them. And to an extent, you got to be that way, you know? Because if I don't think the way you think and you the type of think like Buck City, just get in trouble, I'm not going to have you around me. You see? I don't want you with my dogs. Why would I want Buck City or somebody like him to be advertising my dogs? I want to keep my dogs as far away as I can from James Elmer Givens Jr. He can do nothing for my dogs but bring the wrong type of folk looking at my dogs in the wrong way. That's all he can bring. So if I know that, don't the next person know that? You know? But we all see it, but everybody don't want to acknowledge it. You know? Some folk don't know that many dog men, and the ones they know is the ones out here bullshitting, so they willing to take the bullshit in order to stay good with their favorite dog man. You don't gotta disassociate with a person just to know they flim-flamming you, you know? But hey, man, everybody move different and do things differently. You know what I'm saying? And that's the great thing about the dog game, the pit bulls itself. So many different dogs, you know? And the thing about it, with the pit bull, you got, compared to other breeds, the dogs just look so many different ways. But when it comes to the owners, it's so many different ways of thinking. You know what I'm saying? So many different ways of thinking, and these dogs end up in the wrong hands more often than none. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for the dogs ending up in the wrong hands, a lot of the times, a lot of that bad cloud wouldn't be over the pit bull the way it is now. You know, if we had people really emphasizing that certain dogs need to be classified as certain dogs a long time ago, you wouldn't have the problem now that when a pit bull bites somebody, they call it a pit bull, but it's not really a real pit bull. You wouldn't have that problem. Folk will know how to distinguish, and I'm talking about folk who don't deal with these dogs. They'll know how to distinguish, oh, that's a pit bull, that's an American bully, or that's a German Shepherd and so. This dog might don't got no bulldog in him, period. He just might be a chunky looking, box face looking, another kind of dog, and they calling it a pit bull. Don't even got a percentage of bulldog blood in it. Oh man, say they bred a shepherd and a Rottweiler. You know what I'm saying? Rottweiler, old box face dog, old chunky dog, you know, and the dog don't look like the Rottweiler. The dog come out brown, but got that chunky body like a Rottweiler. Got a long tail, you know, and just so happened the dog tail ain't fluffy. Dog got a long skinny tail. Now this is a pit bull. This dog gonna got one drop of pit bull blood in him. See, we needed folk focusing on that a long time ago. When it comes to the bad reputation these dogs got. You know what I'm saying? And like I always say, a pit bull is not meant to be with any and every person. The same way a Molly is not meant to be with any and every person. You can get you a poodle. Anybody can raise a poodle. Anybody can raise a cocker spaniel. You know, if you're taking care of them the right way, I mean. anybody don't need working dogs, you know. And that's the thing about pit bulls. They wasn't classified as working dogs for so many years because of what brothers was doing with them, and wasn't showing the other side of the dog. The dog was never classified as a true working dog, you know. And I'm talking about from the 80s and the 70s. You look in them encyclopedias, you've never seen pit bull in the working dog category. When you're looking at an encyclopedia, you see all the other dogs, the pointers, this dog or that dog, shepherds and different things. They'll be up on the working dog. The pit bull will either be non-working. If they had a sport category, maybe they'd be sports. So let me ask y'all, what's y'all motive when y'all talk about y'all match records, when y'all get weights, when y'all talk about this up-to-date stuff on Facebook? What's y'all motives then? You know? What's your motives when you post a scratched up dog from hell on Facebook and then everybody up under it commenting talking about this dog a warrior? And like I said before, a scratched up dog don't mean you're a warrior. Dogs be scratched up to be straight up curs. And y'all get up to the first comment, not one person talking about curring. Everybody talking about how much of a warrior this dog is, how much of a warrior this dog is. Y'all blinded, man. Y'all blinded by bullshit. This is an era of I want to see, I want to hear, and you wonder why you get what you get. I say, if I was doing it back in the Wild Wild West days, I could take 4 cars and have a lot of people there. More than I want there. I could take 4 cars and have a whole hell of a lot of people. I could take 5 cars and have a lot of people. But when I take 40 cars, I better make sure that we going to some legal shit. We're going to do something legal. We got 40 cars. We ain't going to do nothing illegal. What in the hell can we do illegal in America, period? From the top to the bottom of illegal things we can do. What can we do illegal with 40 cars with us? Besides take over a neighborhood or take over a city. Maybe you can go with 40 cars or something like that. But other than that, man, you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't go do nothing with 40 cars. You know, the truth hurts sometimes. So you rather for me to stop giving this news, stop giving this dog talk, stop letting these brothers know what it is, stop saying and voicing my opinion sometimes. You rather all that shit go under the rug. You rather brothers not know 40 cars is a little too extreme to be doing something illegal with. You rather for all that shit to go, all that shit to fly. You know what I'm saying? We talking about 100 and some people, you know, because like we said, if 40 some people got caught, 100 and some people was there. They didn't catch everybody that was there, not even close to it, especially when you had 40 cars, you know. You got to think about this stuff before you do it if you don't want nobody to talk about it. Now, if you was real as you claim, any brother that got a problem with me giving the news or talking about what's going on, you real as you claim, you should want the next brother behind you not to make the same mistake you made. Oh, you think any of y'all brothers who ever got any dog raids on the dog news that I did, you think you're going to get more time because I advertise your news? You know, you think because I put it up on my channel, it's going to affect what you got going on? Only way it can affect what you got going on if you're trying to hide that you got in trouble with the dogs. You know, and when I give the news, I never address anybody personally. I always talk about the issue that happened if I give my opinion. Never addressing somebody personally. Oh man, you was a dumbass dude. You should have been doing this and you should have been doing. Never address it personally. That's why I always say most brothers don't even care, you know, that they made the news because they already made the news in their hometown. They already know what it was. And they know what it is. Now, we always say we trying to make better people out here. Brothers are doing the positive things across the board. Speak this, and I agree with that. You trying to make better people, So if I'm trying to make better people, why would I want my younger brothers and my younger sisters that's coming up in the dog game, you know what I'm saying, and maybe some of my older brothers that's just starting in the dog game, why would I want them to feel like or get the impression that what Buck City Kennels is doing is the right thing? I just told y'all I don't want that motherfucker with none of my dogs, period. So why would I want the next brother to feel like, oh, I'm do mine like Buck City, I'm gonna do this like Buck City, and then he gonna be on that list of me not wanting his type to have my dogs. My dogs going to a person of that type can't do nothing but harm me. Dogs gonna be in shit all day long, piss all day long. Dogs will be on chains this long, literally. What is a foot? This long, maybe double this, 2 feet. Dogs be on chains that long. I don't want my dogs going into them situations, so we make better people, so the people that's coming up with these dogs don't be the type of person that he is, and I can sell your dog, or I can buy a dog from you. I can't buy no dog from no motherfucker who had a record of having dogs with diseases we can't even pronounce. Buy a dog from him? Hell to the fuck now. But you got folk out there, who don't give a damn. That's why I asked y'all, was it a level below the swamps? You know what I'm saying? Was the swamps a step up from a level? Because I want to know what that's called. Oh, and these brothers in South Carolina still stealing these dogs. These brothers in South Carolina still stealing these dogs, man. My thing is, man, I ain't here to bash nobody, because it just is what it is. They gonna do what they gonna do, however they gonna do it. It just is what it is. My thing is, man, to y'all brothers, my message to y'all brothers is out there stealing people dogs. One day, man, you gonna decide you want to get in the dog game, really get in the dog game, and you gonna start buying your dogs, breeding your dogs, or whatever. And you're not gonna appreciate somebody coming to take your dog, man. You're not gonna appreciate that dog. And like I said, a lot of these brothers who out here stealing these dogs, it's these street brothers. It's not the brothers going out here working, busting their ass hard on getting a check. These brothers willing to spend their money to get a dog. Save their check up if it's one, 2, or 3 checks or whatever they making. Save it. But these brothers that's in these streets, they the ones that's stealing the dogs. The ones that's claiming they got so much money. The ones that's ganging, talking this and talking that. And believe me, man, it's some of the ones out there working too that's doing it. Some of the ones that work too that do it. And at the end of the day, man, you just gotta buy what you want, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no. I mean, you can't feel the way this brother feel about his dog when your dog is stolen. And a lot of that stolen stuff, man, y'all get these dogs from these brothers and you ruin them. You know what I'm saying? You go out there and destroy them. Go out there and destroy them, man. And like I said, South Carolina, they bad on it. You know what I'm saying? And they still doing it. Brother in the Bennettsville area just lost damn near, 8 dogs. I mean, come on, man. And like I said, it's the same group of folk that's always getting their names called. Same group of folk, man. At some point in your life, you gotta be willing to buy some dogs. That's why I always tell brothers, if you ain't willing to buy no dogs, you ain't in the game, man. Step back and assess yourself to figure out what you got going on. If you ain't willing to say, oh, I want to spend $1,000 on a dog, I want to spend $500 on a dog, I want to spend $1,500 on a dog, $2,000 on a dog, and that's my dog. Whatever you decide to do with them, that's your choice, because you spend your hard-earned money on it. Y'all brothers really put y'all life on the line to go out here and ruin somebody else, what they got going on. Sometimes these brothers out here, man, they take these folk dog and they be the kids' dogs. The kids done raise the dogs up and they go to stealing them and they don't care about none of that shit. They get the dogs and go to fighting them. You know? Like I said, man, in my opinion, that's below the swamps. You know, the dog thieves, that's below the swamps. Unless the dog thieves in the swamps. You know what I'm saying? They probably all tangled up in the swamps together. Tell you the truth. Dog thieves, all of them. It's just bad situation, man. It's a bad situation when folk can think, you know, you doing right or think, you know, walk around with somebody else's dog that's not yours and think like you oh man, look at my dog. Oh, look at I brag about what I got. You know? If the man got dogs that you feel like you want to steal, why don't you just go try to buy one from him? Work out a good relationship with the brother. It'll get you a whole lot further. And then you don't put your life on the line. It ain't worth putting your life on the line for a four-legged dog, man. But them drugs have a lot of y'all thinking like that. The alcohol have a lot of y'all thinking like that. And just the way you was brought up have a lot of y'all thinking like that, man. And you do take that risk, you know. But it's going to be, believe me, the last one that did it was David Tant, you know. And he got in trouble with it by how he rigged it up. But it's going to be, some of y'all dog thieves is going to get caught up in one of these folk yards in United States. I don't know what state it's going to be. But you're going to get caught up in somebody's damn yard doing the wrong damn thing. And you're going to be right there when the news camera come. Laid out beside the dog. It's going to go down just like that, man. I hate to say it. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to wish bad on nobody. But you shouldn't be on nobody's damn property trying to take their shit. And some of y'all got a nerve to go over there shooting at people and all kind of stuff for their own shit. Man, listen here, man. What is the game going down coming to today? I mean, if you feel like you got to steal it, that means you feel like the dog's worth something, right? But when you steal it, all the worth is gone. That dog is worth nothing no more. To you, you can't make no money off of it besides going out there and trying to fight it. How many times have we seen that work out for a brother? You know? So, I mean, hey, man, like I said, it just need to stop, man. It go down in every state, not just South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, everywhere it's going down, Texas. Brothers just need to, like I said, if you can't afford it, step back, man, and figure out a way the way you can buy it. You know, a lot of times if a brother know that this dog is going to go to a serious person, a person that's going to really take care of this dog and have this dog in the right position, he may be willing to work on the dollar part. You know, you gotta try folk and ask them and talk to them. A lot of folk go to stealing people's dog and don't even talk to them. Don't even ask them about shit. Just assume that and go take the dogs. You know, man, it's gonna be a situation, like I said. It's gonna be some brothers left in some yards, and there's gonna be other situations with it. It's gonna be brothers that steal these folk dog, but you're gonna steal the wrong person dog, and that person is gonna be on your ass stalking you like a Denzel Washington movie, and it's gonna end bad, you know, because everybody don't play about their animals, man. It don't necessarily have to be a pit bull. These brothers out here stealing these folk little Frenchies and stuff like that, calling them to buy the dogs and robbing them for it. It's gonna be somebody y'all play with that's gonna go straight John Wick on you. You know? So man, just be careful. Stop doing all that shit. Buy what you want, earn what you want, and that way you can brag about what you got. You can do what you want to do with what you got. You know what I'm saying? And you can see it's a different side of the ball game, man. Now you in the game. You know what I'm saying? You working, taking your hard-earned money and buying these dogs and seeing what it take take care of these dogs and all kind of stuff. So you know if you decide to sell your dogs for a certain price, you know what I'm saying? Imagine you talking about you selling dogs for so and so price when everything in your yard is stolen. Man, you can't sell me no dog for nothing, man. When everything over here stolen. I'm talking about that's what your homeboy's gonna say to you. Man, I ain't want to buy no dog. Everything over here stolen. You don't buy dogs. Why should I buy a dog from you? Everything is always gonna be passed along. Give me, passed along. Because everybody know everything in your yard is stolen. At some point, you gotta put your foot down and buy your shit. It is what it is, my brothers and sisters. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all stay legal out there. And I'm out.
It's a proven fact that the American Pit Bull Terrier is one of the most fascinating dogs worldwide. Maybe you've been thinking about bringing one into your family and need an in-depth look at the history, health, temperament, and lineage. This only means there's one book for you. The Pit Bull Encyclopedia is your one-stop shop when it comes to your furry friend or companion. Knowledge is the key to running a successful program, so make sure your pit bull is secured by having your very own copy of the Pit Bull Encyclopedia. Why are you still hesitating about something you can do today?